Welcome everyone to the 8th edition, I think, of the FD Zone. We had wanted to make the FD Zone something where discussions on the film form as much as the themes of the film. And for that we had wanted to, at least once a month or once in 2 months invite people who are very, very central to the whole filmmaking process. And it's with great, great, great pleasure that I would like to invite Jabeen Merchant, who has been central to most of us, our filmmaking careers, as not just an editor who's worked on our films, as someone who has really nurtured our own visions through, even on films that she's not worked on. So I think it's been a decade and a half of Jabeen working on independent documentaries, and the spectrum of films that she has done over the years is staggering, but more importantly, she's been really part of this independent film movement, and that's really the more significant contribution, I think, personally. So it's with great pleasure that I'd like to invite Jabeen to talk about her selection and how she's put these two films together. Thanks.
It's really great to have this opportunity at Films Division. We've all been associated in various ways with Films Division for years, ever since we were born. So the films that we are going to screen have some very obvious connections. They are both films on poets, on the lives of poets. The films use a lot of poetry in their form, in their structuring. And they're both very emotional in their different ways, both the films. So they have these themes in common which are very obvious. For me personally, as an independent filmmaker, I'm an editor. I like to think that all of us who contribute to the making of independent documentaries can all call ourselves filmmakers, because that's the way our films are. So for me, all the work that we've all done together, the last few years, this question, I've been thinking about this more and more, of how we make our films and the choices that we make, and whether documentary is cinema in the way that fiction is cinema, the documentary form, and various such thoughts. So, there's this this quotable quote attributed to Alfred Hitchcock, right? We've all heard it. In feature films, the director is God, and in documentary films, God is the director. So if God is the director, then the cameraman is auto writing with the camera, and I'm high priestess, oracle, because of course that's not how films get made. I'm sure that Hitchcock never said that, or meant that at least. It's about reality, right? I mean, this idea that documentary films represent reality, and so they are the opposite of fiction, which is constructed. That's fine, and nobody can plan reality. But of course, every time, I'm saying obvious things, that every time you switch on a camera and decide I'm going to point it here, and this is my frame, or you decide, I interviewed this person, in the middle of an interview, you'll ask a question again to obviously get another answer. And then we sit and we put it all together. So, obviously there has to be a vision and there has to be a plan. That's what we do. I don't want to appear flippant about this. Of course, the most, the documentary, the films that define the word documentary through history, Man with the Movie Camera, Louisiana Story, which, you should, I highly recommend Helen Van Dongen's diary, the editor of Louisiana Story. She talks about the 2 lakh feet of footage, raw stock that was exposed to make Louisiana Story. So, of course, we saw Sukhdev's India 67, which is also, these are films that define documentary. Each one more brilliant than the other. Chris Marker, Agne, Varda, all of them have used this form where, you just go and you shoot and then you put it together with barely an outline in your head. So that is one kind of film. And I'm going on and on about a kind of film which these two films are not. Actually, the films that I've chosen to show today, both have scripts, very elaborately detailed written scripts in advance. Now, the reasons why these films had to be constructed like this, or were chosen, the directors chose to construct them like this, that hopefully we'll discuss with the directors after the films are over. It's just they're also films that we have possibly seen before because they're not new films. So I just wanted to present this new framework through which they can be reviewed.
भाई साहब, मीरा की मूर्ति है क्या आपके पास?
मीरा की तो नहीं है, ज़्यादा सेल नहीं है ना उसकी।
अच्छा, आप बना के देंगे हमें?
ऑर्डर दोगे बना देंगे, कोई भी मूर्ति बना सकते हैं ऑर्डर दोगे तो।
अच्छा, आपको मालूम है कि मीरा दिखती कैसी है?
नहीं, मीरा को तो पता नहीं, फोटो लाओगे तो बना देंगे।
I encounter Meera's verses in another temple, accompanied not by prayer bells, but by the unlikely rhythms of people hard at work. I find her in the middle of a story about the low-caste Guru Raidas, whom she badgered to be her teacher. The keepers of traditions.
मारे तो सिर पर वो हमारा हाथ है तो मैं तो ला रही हूँ, मारे सारे परीत नहीं है कराना।